Alright, so we're here to do this next episode with my man E.Lee. He just put together an amazing exhibition called All That Glitters. We're right outside his studio, all caps and no spaces. Let's get into this dope art. Man, E.Lee, man, it's real good to get with you, man.
Thanks for coming.
I've been seeing the growth, man. I've been saying from day one that you was one of the outliers and just one of the super dope people that I know was just gonna run laps around a lot of people in this art world. And from day one, you've been doing that. Even from how I came across your work, which is amazing to me. I was in Miami. I always tell a story. I was in Miami at Art Balls, and my partner was showing me some amazing street art, right? From this guy who was doing all these crazy perspectives where, you know, you're making closed doors look like they're open, but not just looking open, but showing actual scenes within these doors.
Yeah.
From, you know, showing our superheroes that we love and our favorite characters in distress and these crazy predicaments. And I was like, man, who is this guy? Man, I want to meet this guy. And then a little time passed. We get back maybe like a month later from Basel down in Miami. We get back here. We had a show, and I meet a cool guy with another artist who's doing a show who was in town from
London.
Simon. And we're hanging out, and it was you was like, hey, you wanna we
I'm
finna
hungry.
go get some we finna go get some food, maybe we'll get some chicken. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. And so we go and do that, and then halfway through you're like, hey, yeah, I'm an artist too. I'm like, what? That wasn't your work in that? Okay, what do you do? Show me. And then you showing me the work. I'm like, yo, this is everything I was just saying. I was going crazy about this like a couple of weeks ago. And so fast forward, you know, you've always been somebody that I just, you know, I thought was dope, and I knew was going a lot of places, man. And to see the transition and the growth and the elevation from that point to this point is ridiculous. Even to, you know, opening up all caps and no spaces, which we'll get into that a little more later. But, you know, it's just been overnight, man. And just even seeing you, even at that time, was like, yeah, man, I just started doing this a little, you know, a couple years ago.
At that time, it was like street art started for me like a year before that. Yeah, that was like 3.5 years ago.
Which is crazy, because when I seen it, I'm like, man, this dude gotta be a legend. I don't know how long he been doing this, but this is amazing. This guy clearly been doing this his whole life. And seeing how fast you had gotten to that point encouraged me to want to go further. So it's like, you know, I drew a lot of inspiration off of you at that time. I don't know if you knew that or not, which is another reason why I wanted to work with you so bad, because I'm like, man, this guy a lot of like. We don't really come from this world or this realm, but we're able to make a lot of headway in this. And that's the kind of guy I want to be around. That's the kind of guy I want to work with. I admire that a lot. And when I do these, we had these talks and these discussions, it ain't just random people. I always want to pick somebody that I feel like I'm inspired by, somebody that I believe in, and somebody that I think is super dope, man. And I feel that the people that's watching this will be able to draw a lot of inspiration into what they're doing and be able to apply some of the things that you learn to help you get over certain hurdles and humps to what they're doing and help them elevate wherever they are in their path.
Yeah.
So, how do we get to this point, man?
This show or this point in my career? Both? Everything?
It's all.
How did I get to this point? Well, I didn't do any art in high school, really. I liked to draw when I was younger, but I got to college and I had one professor who I just took one drawing class because I loved it. I thought, I'll just give it a try. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was good at like math and science, so I didn't even know about art really. But he brought me in. He loved my drawings and he brought it to the chair of the department, and he got me in based on his word and on like 7 drawings, which you're supposed to have like a portfolio to even submit to the college.
Definitely.
So the dean was like, it's on your word, man. You know, you owe this guy because you wouldn't be in otherwise, you know. So I worked my ass off from that point on in college, and I felt like every single thing I was doing was like a whole new world just opened up. Like I did printmaking, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I did painting, and I was like, oh my God, I never painted before.
Wow.
College.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm very meticulous when I start something, and I loved it, so I just kept doing it. So that's what introduced me to it. Since then, I played soccer in college as well, and I coached. I've been coaching kids since then and just painting on my free time. And it took me, I went into Vertical Gallery like maybe 6 years ago. I don't even know how long they were open. Maybe 5. I don't know how long it was. But they had one show where people were doing art on cans and on fry packages, and it was like My Dog Size and Ben Frost and all these people, and I was just blown away. I was like, why am I limiting myself to paintbrush on canvas when I can do anything? It's just kind of opened my mind up a little bit. So yeah, from that point, it was just, how do I get into galleries? How do I get my work in front of people? What do I want to say? So it's been a sprint since then.
So it's a dope part in your story, right, that I think people should know about. So you said you got into vertical, but you was there for some years. So that part, when you started, it wasn't initially, I'm just displaying work. You started at another entry situation, at another entry point, should I say.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that. I think people should hear that. That's super dope.
Well, one thing, it was, they never tell you how to get into the art world.
Right.
It's like this mystery. You're supposed to there's either artists that make their money from art, and then there's people that do it as a hobby. Right. And nobody knows how you get between those two things,
Right.
So I guess that's been my trip over the last 5 years, has been trying to figure that out.
So a very interesting fact to me is the way you kind of, I want to say, I really won't call it came to be, because I feel like you put yourself in this art world, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's one of the things that I did, one of the reasons why I identify with you the way I do, because I feel like it was something that I didn't really stumble across. I kind of saw it and saw that was where I wanted to be, and physically put myself into that world.
Yeah.
And I think your story is really, really inspiring, how you got into this art world.
Thank you. Yeah. It's not easy. What I realized is that I was talking to a friend today and said that I wouldn't do it unless it hurt worse to not do it. You know what I mean? It hurts worse to not do it than to do it, because doing it hurts too, because it's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, and you put yourself out there, and it costs a lot of money, and you're kind of just hoping that other people get it. And you live on other people's ability to support you, because people don't need a painting in their house. It just improves their life, but they don't need it. It's not like food or shelter. You know what I mean?
For a person that sells artwork, I think they should feel like people need this in their life.
Well, here's
that's
the thing.
That's just me.
People don't know they need it until after they've been exposed and they understand the difference.
Right.
So if you don't have it in your life and you never have, you don't know the difference.
Very true. Very true.
And it's like, once it's in your life and you realize how profound it is, how it affects you, then it's like, I have to do that. I have to get more of this, and because it's humanity. Like, you're reaching into other people's souls. Like, they're putting themselves on something, and they're like grappling with the unknown and all this stuff that they don't know why they have to make it.
Yeah.
And there's something there. There's a powerful thing there.
Yeah.
So if you do it and you put it out there and somebody connects with it, there's a reason they connect with it.
Right.
It's something in your life hits something in their life, and you're both on the same page about something, and that feels good to know that you're not the only person that this is for in the world. There's you feel a connection between everything, and that's what's better than that. It's like a spirituality of
that is random. I think all humans is connected in some kind of way. I mean,
I agree.
Anybody living is going to relate to any other thing living and breathing. What I was thinking about, right, is when I'm saying just that the grind of actually crossing the threshold over into being a part of this art world and being in it. For me, myself, I was working I had a studio set up. I had a marketing company doing a lot of different services, right?
Yeah.
And in the same building, my office was in, it was a loft building, I was on the same floor with another artist, a pretty big artist, right? And so I'm seeing him create things all around the building. I'm like, man, that look cool. Man, that's dope. Man, I'm being surrounded by it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I gotta find out more about this.
Yeah.
So when I see him in passing, hey man, what's up, man? Are you responsible for this? And then we start talking, and then we start hanging, and then I start learning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, whatever I could do to be a part of this, I need to be a part of this. What you need? How can I help you out? What can I do? What do you need support? How can I be an asset to the shit that you already have in motion?
Yeah.
And then I see what you got going on, and it first started from me just physically being there. I don't know exactly what you may need until I'm here to see. And then once I see, oh, you might be a little weak in this area. Well, I'm good at that. Let me strengthen that for you.
Yeah.
Making myself an asset to even be around, and then from that point being around, everything, you know, watching you at your different phases, or I'm speaking about the artist.
Yeah.
And the different projects that they working on. Okay, well, I'm good at this. I can do that part. Oh, what y'all need help on this? Okay, I can do that part.
See, what makes you want to do that? That's the question.
That's a good. Well, you know what? I seen that there was value in it, and even to take a step before that, you know, I've been in art as a kid. Like, I feel like every living person is in the art. Is art in everything.
Yeah.
The stop sign is artwork. You know what I'm saying? And the most basic school supplies is a notebook, paper, and pencil. When you get bored, you're gonna doodle something in between the teacher talking, or in between classes. You get bored, you just start drawing stuff.
Yeah.
And for me, it struck a chord because I was even more into art as a kid. It was my favorite pastime to, you know, sit up and draw things and create. And even as an adult, I was a creative before I even really realized what a creative was. So me seeing that, I knew it was something that I had to be a part of. I didn't understand it fully, but I know that if I get close enough to it, I'll learn, you know. And so with you, I seen you was doing the same thing, come up on the grind, working with different galleries, helping them. Hey, what y'all need help? I help hang this show. I help do this.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude here, he different. You know what I'm saying? He different, because most artists, they think that they could just sit in the house and create and a little bit, you know, when they get in their free time, and wonder why it's not doing anything or not selling. It's like, man,
why hasn't the biggest gallery in the world come knocking on my
Right.
door? I'm making I'm making cool stuff here. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So to me, hearing about how you was, you know,
It doesn't happen for you. You got to go do it. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And it happened organically with me, in that I did the same thing.
Right.
Where I was around Ukrainian Village. I was really close to Vertical Gallery and Patrick,
Yeah.
and so I went over there and I saw their next show, and then I saw their next show, and I was like, I used to hang work as a job in college. That's what I
Yeah.
did for an hourly rate, you know.
Wow.
When I was like playing soccer and doing art, I would do that to make a little money. So I knew how to hang work, and I knew that he was only there for a little time. So it's like, if you need work and you need help, a hand to hang something,
Right.
I'm literally around the block. Let me know. So that's what started it. And then he didn't even know I was an artist, you know. I was there because I was like
Right.
getting inspired again, you know.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be around it more. And he just said, well, he asked about these tattoos actually, and I told him what they were.
What are they?
They're a painting by Frank Stella that made me want to paint. So I saw it in the Art Institute in St. Louis that year that I was trying to decide whether to switch over to art. After the guy could get me in
Yeah.
to the department, I talked over with my parents, and they're like, what are you going to do with an art degree?
Right.
You know? And I didn't know. I didn't have an answer for that.
Yeah.
So it's like, right there you have to make the decision. Am I going to college to be a better person and learn more about the world? Or am I going to college to get information and get a degree so I can get a job? So I made the choice then that I was going to college to enrich my life and to be a better person. So that was the point of college from then on out. I knew that just being a graduate with an art degree wasn't going to, like, you know, make me the most, what's the word, marketable person in the business world. So
Right.
I had to figure out what I wanted to do from there. But that's kind of why I coach soccer. I love coaching. I love playing. So it just became a very easy thing to do that. So I went that direction. I have a lot of passion for that. And then it actually gave me a ton of free time to develop a style and develop what I wanted to do with art. So there's no pressure on me because I was making money doing something else. Yeah. But I didn't know that I even wanted to get into galleries. I didn't know that that was a passion and that would like drive me. I want my stuff in front of people. I didn't know that until I walked into Vertical Gallery and saw all that work, and I was like, I want my stuff up on walls. I want people to see it. I want to say something. Like, it inspired me big time. So
shout out to Vertical Gallery and Patrick, man.
Yeah, he's done a lot for me. He's done a lot for this area.
Most definitely.
He's brought a lot of good artists in.
Ton of great shows.
Yeah.
Ton of great shows, man. Definitely been a fan. And with you speaking about perspective, I think it's a good time to get into the artwork more.
Yeah.
So this piece right here, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is just like, I don't see anybody playing with the perspectives the way you are. And it's crazy because, you know, in art, when you hang in art, artwork period, it's all about lighting and having the right lighting to make sure it shows the best.
Yeah.
But you do so much with shadows. Your pieces is all about shadows.
Yeah.
Even the show we did is called From the Shadows.
Yeah.
And I love the design because it's minimalistic, but the way you play with the shadows, you use the shadows to bring so much more into the picture that's there but not there.
Yeah.
So even with this piece, it's crazy to me, right? Because it's like, even for the people who are not standing in front of it, I'm telling you, standing in front of it, I still feel like I can walk all the way up these stairs and go through a door up there. Like,
right.
How are you doing this, man? And it even comes out from the picture
right.
onto the floor, so this is amazing.
It starts with, well, working like mathematically on the perspective is one thing, but the second thing is I put it in the computer and I make sure, so I can put it in Photoshop and I can size it exactly what it's going to be. Right. So I can make this 80 inches and I can know how tall am I, how tall is a normal person, what's their eye at.
Who's just knowing this kind of stuff, man?
Well, I have to.
That's why you the
man. I measure it. And I'm like, all right, well, 65 inches, a little bit higher. You know, that's about where I want the perspective line, and I want people to kind of see the top of the stair. If that's like the shelf, it's like just
right.
below your eye line, so you should see just a little bit of the top of the shelf. So it feels more realistic. And then to me, it's the most fun for me is making something feel like. Not like it's there, but I created space.
Yeah.
It's not about like, it's not about like a painting. It's like right. I created space,
right.
and I made people question what is real, and that's more interesting to me than painting, you know. And my what I choose to paint. It started with the street art, started with the superheroes, and I did stuff with galleries, work with superheroes suffering, and it was just something that I felt like it was important to me for some reason, and I didn't know why for a while, and that's usually, I don't know why I'm drawn to something until after I make it. Yeah. It just feels like this is right, so I just do it. So I just keep moving toward the thing that feels right, and after a while I figure out what it's about and why I'm doing it. But it's important for people to be able to connect with it. I think that's why the subject matter to me needs to be poppy. It needs to be popular culture type of things so that I can speak through that and give them the fine art things that I love that affect me a lot. And if I can do it through pop art images and something that people can connect with and is fun and whimsical and something that feels not happy, but you get an emotion from it because you have a connection to it from your childhood. From
that's what art's supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's like even the soundtrack of this show. It was every other song was like a hardcore hip hop song from the 90s or 2000 that was about hustling and going after what you want. And the next song was a Disney song.
Like, yo, I heard We Gonna Make It.
Yes.
By the Locks. I was like, I almost ran out like, man, this dude going crazy. Who was the DJ in here? I stopped to ask you, like, who's the DJing? Like, I never heard that song at the art show.
And it was like, I didn't know what to play that would fit with what would fit with this. And it was like, the only thing that made sense was like very melodic Disney stuff that everybody knows that you would almost start singing if you heard it, and then you'd catch yourself after you started singing. Like, oh.
Wait,
But there's that, and then there's like, but it's also not just that. That's the pop art side, the like dream side, the connecting with your aspirations. It's almost like fairy tale-ish. It's connected to story. And then you've got the part of it that's like, this is a grind, this is hard, you need to like, this is all status symbols. These are all like, achievement, money, achievement, gold, red stairs, a red carpet. Like all these things are about what we see as status symbols, what we are striving for. And it's like, why are we striving for this? What does it mean to us? Like a staircase, obviously this has a metaphoric, idea of climbing stairs, the red carpet, going somewhere, where is it going, type of an idea, and then how to make it in a way that's still fun and fresh and interesting. And I just love creating space. Yeah, it's fun to me, and everything else comes with it. But this show also, I got to push on reality more. Yeah. Which is what I really wanted to do, was take it to another level and not just create space, but also my ideas are affecting reality now. So like the balloons, because of our association with the balloon, me putting it at the top of the ceiling and putting a real ribbon on it, it actually feels like it's floating. Even though it's made of wood, so that idea in your head is like messing with you. Yeah. And the frame, I painted it, the line of it is actually painted so that it looks tilted. And then I tilt the frame, so like my painting is affecting reality. Like, to me that's amazing. I can affect reality with my painting. Yeah. So I want to push that as much as possible. And even this stair is, a section of reality that's the stair is real. That's a real stair, and then that's affecting your perspective of the whole rest of it. It just like kind of messes with you a bit. What stands out to me, right, is that when you're looking at art or you're picking certain art that you want in your house, a lot of times people will pick a scene that they want to escape into. Yeah. And you can sit in, or some pieces you have where the longer you stare at it, or the more times you come and revisit that piece, the more you'll find new things into it. Yeah. And that's really cool. But to actually create space that you can put, escape into is crazy. And the fact that you're thinking and actually executing on something like that is amazing to me. Well, I think on that point, the reason that paintings are so important is when you're connected to it, when there's something about it that is intriguing to you, there's a reason for that. A. Right. B, you don't understand why it's important to you yet. Right. And then as you live with it, you understand more about it, but also you are changing. Right. So what you see, it's like a mirror. What you see in it is changing because you're changing. So your perspective changes. What you see in something changes. Like same thing with a person, Right. If I went through something unbelievably crazy, when I see you next time, I'm going to think of you in a different way, just because all of our experiences are the same, but now I've changed, so I see that all the experiences I've always had with you differently. It's a little bit of magic. Our brains are a little messed up.